Well, it finally happened. I got my hands on a Canyon. Two actually, the Grail CF and the Grail AL. And I'm here to tell you that everything you hear is true, and they absolutely live up to the hype. I'm fortunate to live about an hour from Canyon's US office, and this is hopefully the first of many reviews of their lineup. So if you'd like to be notified when those videos drop, please hit the subscribe button and ring that bell icon. Okay, shameless self-promotion aside, let's talk about the bikes. Canyon's Grail lineup consists of four basic models: the Grail AL, the Grail AL SL, the CF SL, and at the top is the CF SLX. Regardless of the model, at each level, they're engineered and spec'd to pay dividends in performance and handling. The Grail CF line is split into two models, the SL and the SLX. The difference in the two is obviously the frame and the grade of carbon. You know, same mold, different layup. The SL weighs in at a scant 1,040 grams, and the SLX rips the scales at 840 grams, which is crazy light even for like a road bike. And regardless of which model you choose, the out-of-the-box spec is top-notch. You can either do Shimano GRX or SRAM ETAP. The Grail AL has two models with the same frame set, but one is designated SL because of the lighter SRAM 1x component spec. Canyon was kind enough to loan me a Grail CF SL 8.0 with Shimano GRX and a 2019 spec Grail AL with the insanely good Shimano 105 7000 disc group. 105 7000 is probably the best $700 you'll ever spend on a component group. GRX is crazy good too, and it's spec'd on the 2021 aluminum version if you're looking at one of those. Okay, so first, let's hit the CF, and then I'm gonna end with something surprising as I talk about the AL. I need to start with what the Grail CF isn't. It is not a detuned road bike with clearance for big tires. No, it's a purpose-built gravel bike, thoroughly engineered and painstakingly spec'd to take you where other bikes just can't. One quick look at the angles of the frame point to the fact that this bike's a totally different animal. It has a long wheelbase to increase stability, and the head tube height and angle are tailored to be ridden with a shorter stem to create an agile yet completely balanced set of handling characteristics. And with the addition of the Ingenious Hover Bar and S15 VCLS seat post, you get a very noticeable degree of baked-in suspension without any weight or efficiency penalty. Now, stay with me for a minute because I know you want to hear about the hover bar. I'll come back to it, I promise. I had both bikes for about a month, and my testing consisted of 2 to 3 rides on essentially 4 different wheel configurations. Stock wheels with the stock Schwalbe G-one Bite tubeless 40s, my personal set of ENVE 4.5 ARs with 30C Vittoria Rubino Pro tubeless tires, back to the stock DT wheels with the Rubinos, and ENVE Foundation 45 wheels with the Schwalbe G1s. I rode each configuration on mixed terrain, about 70% tarmac and 30% dirt, and I chose these configurations for a few reasons. The most obvious being that I have a feeling everyone's curious about the true one bike ability of the Grail. In the road configurations with the Rubinos, they were both, I don't know, they got the job done. I mean, they're nothing close to the responsiveness and handling of my R5 or something like a Dogma or a Tarmac, but aside from being a tad heavy and having more subdued handling, they did fine as a road bike, with the aluminum bike kind of taking the edge slightly on a pure road ride. Listen, neither one was created for lapping the field in your local office park crit, but when I slapped the knobbies on and headed off-road, I truly understood why deflating the tires, raising the stem, and double wrapping the bars on road bikes just isn't enough anymore. And here's why. Bikes like the Grail open up a whole new world of routes that you probably couldn't have done before. Take this one from my front door to Palomar Mountain, for example. 90 plus miles with a 12-mile fire road climb with 20 to 29 degree pitches dead smack in the middle. It averages about 8%, but it's super technical. I've been up it enough on my mountain bike to know that it's unrideable on a road bike, so my typical MO is to drive to the base of the climb, ride my hardtail up, and then rock it back down. It's a lot of fun. But there's a connector to the paved road at the top of the mountain that I've always wanted to do, and I actually found a safe paved route from my house to the base of the fire road. And much to my surprise, when you max out the tire pressure on the G1s, they roll pretty good on pavement. So, since I had the day off, I knocked out a 7.5-hour ride on the Grail CF with the ENVE Foundation wheels and G1 tires. I mean, what better way to test a bike, right? I knew at the outset it'd be the longest duration ride of my life, and I'd actually never climbed more than about 8,000 feet in a single day before. The Grail CF was flawless. The Foundation wheels were a revelation, and the 31-tooth chainring coupled with the big comfy levers on the GRX group saved my life. I also fell in love with the hover bar. And here's why. On the choppy sections of trail and fire road, it offered real live shock absorption, and when I was time trialing in the flats, I could comfortably rest my elbows on the tops. If a descent got too technical, a quick shift to the drops was easy, and the lower crossbar under my thumbs provided a surprising level of stability and security I've never felt in the drops before. It also provided a resting place for my palms that helped minimize fatigue throughout the day, and the transition from tops to brake hoods was wide, smooth, and flat. And when I found the occasional strength to get out of the saddle and whomp on it, the hover bar felt just as stiff, if not stiffer laterally, than anything I've ever ridden. Look, I'm a sucker for gadgety stuff, and the hover bar just scratches that itch, but it's also extremely well thought out. Switching gears, the same goes for the VCLS post. I could not have made it up the climb without it, and I know the inevitable saddle sore situation would have been much worse on a rigid seat post. And now here's where I take a deep breath and pause, because quite honestly, I'm torn between which one I'd actually buy, because what I didn't tell you was that I ran yet another secret configuration that blew me away. The Grail AL with the VCLS post from the carbon fiber bike and the knobbies on the MV45s. Here's my logic. If you're looking at this through kind of the one bike lens and you don't have a garage full of bikes and wheels already, then you're probably going to buy a second wheel set. So why not save yourself almost $1,000 and get a slightly more versatile setup? Here's my back of the napkin math. The Grail CF and a set of ENVE Foundations would be $31.99 for the bike, plus $1,600 for the wheels, plus $200 for a set of road tires, rotors, and a cassette for a grand total of around $49.99. The aluminum version of the Grail, with the same upgrades plus the squishy seat post, is $19.99 for the bike, $1,600 for the wheels, $200 for the post, and another $200 for the wheel accoutrements. You'd miss out on my beloved hover bar, but I feel like it's the better one bike in the quiver setup. Me personally, since I've already got the wheel upgrades sitting on another bike, I'd be inclined to lean towards the Grail CF, but it'd be a tough call. I think there's some pull up from the SLX model, but for the kind and pace of riding I do these days, I just can't justify the extra cost to just save 200 grams. Okay, I know this was a long one, so thanks for hanging in there. Be sure to check out the GRX and 105 reviews, and don't miss hearing what I have to say about the ENVE Foundations. All right, see you next time.